The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
Scott Ryan here. Interesting. I am not surprised that I'm vindicated about my entire thesis on Mitt Romney over the past primaries when all these conservatives were drinking the Kool-Aid with this guy. I kept on saying, name one damn thing that Mitt Romney ever did legislatively in his entire career in politics that was conservative. On the contrary, I pointed out all of his far left legislation, from of course his socialized medicine and Romney Care to the less well-known Wheels for Welfare, in which he gave away free cars and free auto insurance, free auto repair, and free towing AAA memberships as a welfare benefit, which was so bad that even the governor of Massachusetts and Scott Brown worked to destroy it because it was bleeding the state dry. Okay, so I'm vindicated. But I don't understand what it was. It was surreal. It was spiritual. Romney was destined to win that nomination, to hijack it, because the conservative eyes were blinded. Are we going to go through that again? Because that's my main point here. Not to toot my horn, although it does feel good, as we've seen, that Romney is siding with the Democrats and, of course, with the imposter Republicans who are against defunding Obamacare, the cowards, the traitors. Mitt Romney has written about it. No surprise, he has betrayed us, and this is what we would have if he had won the presidency. So, are we going to be Karl Rove's bitch again this coming election? Because unless we do something right now, something that's never been done before, that is exactly what's going to happen. Because they are preparing right now to hijack the party again. You'll have a handful of conservatives running as candidates, good candidates that conservatives won't be able to coalesce behind one. You'll have maybe Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and other possible candidates. Those are top two conservative favorites right now. There will be several good conservatives, and then you'll have a couple rhinos, such as Peter King, whoever the left nominee, there will be a majority of conservatives. There will be one or two liberals, like Peter King, rhinos, who will end up becoming the favorite, who will hijack the nomination, the favorite for the left, that is, for Karl Rove, who will hijack the nomination, just like McCain and Romney did, and Bob Dole and everybody after Reagan, because they will win without reaching a majority of the vote. Is that what we want? We hear all these people talking about not starting a third party. We need to reform the Republican Party. We need to clean it out. Well, that's all well and good. I believe that too. Because if we went to a third party, we would still have a split vote and get the Democrats elected. But there is a way. There's a way that I propounded back in 2008, when after McCain hijacked the nomination and we lost the election. I warned that it was going to happen and that Mitt Romney would be the rhino who hijacked it next time. And he was, years later. And I'm telling you right now, the same thing is going to happen unless we have... The solution is simple. I don't know logistically how, or legally how, this has to work at the national level or state by state. But it's quite simple. The Republican Party needs to require for a presidential candidate in each primary, as a rule, they must gain a majority of the vote in order to win that state primary. Therefore, making mandatory runoffs between the top two vote getters in the primary. And I don't care who they are. One of the conservatives will face the liberal and they will never again, ever be able to hijack the party nomination, because we are a majority. This tail has been wagging the dog for decades. These idiots like Priebus and the Karl Rove, they have mastered the hijacking. All we need is a level playing field, and never again will we be hijacked. Never again will we be destroyed by inferior left-wing milquetoast candidates like Mitt Romney and John McCain and Bob Dole. Never again. So do we have the desire to just bitch and moan for the next 4 years like we did the last cycle, and just complain about it and scratch our rear ends and talk about third parties, which will not solve a damn thing, because we'll end up giving the presidency again to the liberal? Do we want to do that? Do we just like hearing ourselves complain, or do we want to solve the problem? It can be done. It should be done. It needs to be done within the GOP. It would be better if somehow we could force out, I don't care if we have to hire private investigators to follow around Priebus and all these leftist hijackers and get all the dirt on them and force them down, because we know the dirt is there. Just like with, what's his name, the guy that, before Priebus, all the scandals were coming out with GOP funds, RNC funds being spent on lavish trips, Learjets, strip bars. Your funds? Yeah, let's get the dirt, and we force these bastards out. And then we require a national vote, hopefully national, where the party as a whole demands on presidential races a majority to take the nomination, state by state. So if it can be done at the national level, that would be the easiest. Or if we have to start a movement where every state party has to enforce that or promulgate that, whatever it takes, we've got plenty of time between now and then. Plenty of time to get it done. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know specifically how to implement that, but that is the solution. I mean, you look at a lot of these congressional races and senatorial races around the country, it's a lot harder for those candidates to hijack their nominations, because at the local and state level, you have a lot more mandatory runoffs required, policies like that. We need that for the presidency. That is how we take back our party. That is the only way we will ever take back our party, because there will always be a handful of good conservatives and one or two liberals who Karl Rove and these other traitorous imposters will bankroll and character assassinate every one of them, as they did with Romney, and steal the nomination. I'm sick of this crap. Are you? Is it time to do something? Or are we just going to scratch our rear ends for the rest of our lives until our country falls totally into despotism? Which, in effect, I guess it kind of is. They haven't tightened the reins yet, but that's a whole nother story. Another time, another place.